Okay, so today we're going to talk about 2.2, the algebra of functions. Alright, so here are some of the examples for algebra of functions. There's 4 different theorems here. So f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. F minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. F times g of x is equal to f of x times g of x. And then f divided by g of x is equal to f of x divided by g of x. For that last one, just be careful, make sure you're not dividing by 0. So those are the 4 algebra of functions. Those are the plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Here's our first example for the day. This one's pretty straightforward. So if I were to give you 2 functions, I'll give you what f of x is. So f of x is going to equal to 3x divided by x minus 2. And then g of x will equal to x squared minus 5x. And then the question will be, what is f plus g of 4? So we're adding the 2 functions, but we're wanting to plug in 4. And by the theorems that we had before, we know that this is f of 4 plus g of 4. So what you get to do is you get to plug in 4 to each function separately, and then simplify each one. So for that first one, let's go ahead and plug in 4 to the function f of x. So everywhere I see an x, I'm putting the 4. So that would be 3 times 4 over 4 minus 2. The same thing for g of 4. That would be 4 squared minus 5 times 4. And then what you want to do is you want to be able to simplify that. Each one separately, really it's all going to be added together anyway, so you can kind of do it both at the same time if that's easier. So I'll go ahead and do that. So for the f of 4, we've got 3 times 4, which will be 12, so that'll simplify to 12, over, and then you have 4 minus 2, which simplified to 2. And then you do the same thing for the rest of it. 4 squared is 16, 5 times 4 is 20. And you continue with your order of operations. I end up with 6 plus 16 minus 20, which would be 22 minus 20, which is equal to 2. So we get the final solution of 2 for that example. For this one, if I were to give you a couple of different functions, let's say f of x equals 3x squared plus 1, and then maybe even g of x is equal to 4x minus 2. And let's say the question in this case we're asking us to find f divided by g of, let's say, 1/2. Okay, so if we were to do this, what would happen? Let's go ahead and calculate this out. Using those theorems that we had before, we do know that that's going to be simply f of 1/2 divided by g of 1/2. And then you can go ahead and simplify each one of those as well. I'm going to start with the bottom, so g of 1/2, I'm going to plug in 1/2 everywhere I see the x in my function that I've titled g. So that would become 4 times 1/2 minus 2. And if you look at that simplification right there, so on the bottom, 4 times 1/2 becomes 2. So this right here becomes 2. 2 minus 2 gives me 0. So what I've done, I haven't even touched the top, but you can realize that on the bottom, when I got 0 on the bottom, that's undefined. We can't have that. So in fact, as soon as you end up with 0 on the bottom for this algebra of functions, the entire thing is undefined. So there's no point in even trying to figure out what the top is. It's kind of a little trick question.